Hi everyone, my name is Mia Rollins, and today I'm going to be sharing some of the best practices, tips, and tricks that my partner Terry and I learned while making our 360-degree virtual tour for Infiniscope that we called In the Flow. So first off, I would suggest that you plan out how you're going to organize the order of your tour and the 360 images and any other supplemental video or other media or material that you're going to share in your 360 space. So this is the beginning. We have kind of a welcome sign outside, and it also tells you how to navigate the 360 environment. Terry and I decided that since our tour was in a wind tunnel, so a kind of an uncommon laboratory environment that we wanted to show off and give our students a real experience of, we decided that we wanted to arrange our tour this very similar to how we had the real life tours of the wind tunnel. So we started out by asking, how would we walk through this space in real life? And how would we show our students in real life how to do it? We asked ourselves what makes sense with the lessons that we plan to teach to our students on the tour, i.e., were there certain parts of the tunnel that we needed to visit first because they correlated with the information that we were going to discuss with the students first. And then also, when you're working in kind of an unconventional space, such as a wind tunnel lab, there might be safety factors that you need to take into account. For example, the wind tunnel is up a very steep flight of stairs. So it was safest for us to make sure that all the students got up the stairs and then we moved towards the back of the tunnel away from the stairs before we began our tour. So it made sense in the end for us to start at like kind of the inlet of the tunnel where the wind came in as far away from the stairs as possible and then move back down through the tunnel back to the stairs so we could go by the quote unquote a pollutant source where the fog and methane would be released and past all of the cool installations that we'd done, and students could end at the very end of the wind tunnel where they'd have an easy exit. We then also aligned our kind of video interview spots with the 360 image pass. So everywhere that we had like a 360 image, like you students could pause in the tunnel and have a 360 image, we also had a series of quick little video clips where we taught our lesson through these videos. This helped make things clear narratively and also helped make it feel like a coherent space. 360 cameras need lots of light. So please take several shots for each kind of area of your laboratory environment or tour, and maybe even do several sessions of capturing images with the 360 cameras. So that way you can kind of improve every single time by taking notes on how it went the other time. Make sure you proof your images also before taking it on any difficult setups. So if you're only going to be able to document the tour like one day, then make sure that you go and you look at the images that you got before you take them down. The first time we did it, we realized that all of our images were just way too dark. And so we ended up having to set up a second shoot day in which we added a lot more light and we just generally improved the quality of our images. Remember that you can always add extra lighting that if you need to. So even if that lighting wouldn't be normal in that tour environment, if it makes the images stand out better, then you're going to get your point across clearer. So go ahead and bring in some extra lights especially if you're showing off a dark environment. Work with a buddy. This would not have been possible to do as just one person. I was really lucky to always have Terry involved with everything that I was doing. Your buddy, not only can they be the one to like hold the camera, but they can also tell you, hey, you've got something on your face. Or, hey, can you speak a little bit louder? Or, hey, I hear a lawnmower going in the background. Maybe we should pause and pick this up again in 5 minutes. You're going to want to video several takes of each shot. Just because you never know when you're going to stammer or mispronounce something and it's going to be really embarrassing. It's always best to have multiple versions of the same thing. Then you can pick your favorite one. Try to keep your video segments under 20 seconds each. Make them short and quick. Usually, the more succinct, the better. It's going to get your lesson across better. And also, students sometimes have short attention spans, don't we all? Remember to have a prepared script or notes for each shot, too. Maybe memorize them or practice them several times with your buddy before you go. This will help keep things moving along quickly. Be mindful of background noise when you're shooting. Sometimes it's not always easy to get a perfect audio sample. I mean, we were in a wind tunnel, so there's definitely an echo. But for example, we could hear trucks and lawnmowers going on outside. When we were videoing, we couldn't actually keep the fans on because they were way too loud to make our videos with. So we had to cheat a little and turn the fans of the wind tunnel off. If you have even just like a strong AC unit in the room that you're working in, or sometimes, your coworker is playing a game or having a Zoom meeting in the next room, that all can translate to extra noise that can be really, really hard to edit out after the fact. So try to make your set space as quiet as possible so only the person talking can be heard. Also, remember to try to stage your shots creatively. Remember the rule of thirds. So, the rule of thirds is kind of a simple rule used in photography and video a lot. Basically, it breaks up your screen or image into 9 little squares, right? So, 3 sections of 3. And the idea is that you want to kind of remember that you don't just have to place things in the dead center of your image, but another creative place that like things look really good in is if you position them on kind of one of the two dividers of the 3 panels, right? So you can stack kind of your image on one of these two dividers, and that will like mix it up for the viewer. So don't always keep things in the middle. Sometimes use the rule of thirds. Like we said, remember to use good lighting, both in your 360 images, your normal photographs, and your videos. Bring in extra light sources if you need to. Film sets, like real film sets, they have huge lights. They're very, very bright. And we don't see this on TV because oftentimes things look dark because, video can capture less light than there is in real life. Luckily for you, you don't need to invest in expensive, hot, and heavy set lighting. What we did was we just used some extra lights that were already in the wind tunnel and some like cheap lights that we bought from Home Depot and Target that were like little desk and clip-on lights. If you take a few just kind of lights that you've already got floating around or you can get for really inexpensive and strategically place them in the environment with the light either pointing at the walls or the ceiling to bounce the light off, you'll get a really nice soft ambient extra light that will help light up your whole environment, and it will actually make it look more like it is in real life. You might want to determine if there are aspects of your lesson that could be better communicated with a non-site video presentation, such as a slide presentation that you record a voiceover or an animation. For example, when we were doing the practice questions about, can you detect a methane source in Tehran, Iran? It made more sense for me to do a voiceover on a Zoom presentation and record that and then include that in the video as opposed to me standing in front of the projection and videoing that live. If people could see the images better, they could hear my voice better, and overall, it just became a clearer lesson. This is really easy to do. So here I am on Zoom, and once you're on a program like Zoom, all you need to do is hit to share screen right here, down here at the bottom. Okay, say optimize for video clip, share sound if you need it, hit share, and then go to whatever presentation that you're actually sharing and click view. And then present and talk like you were talking to anyone that right there in front of you. Remember to be aware of any extra sound in the room while you're presenting. I want to remind you guys to incorporate some fun and humor in your presentation. Terry and I had a great time coming up with ways that we might be able to bring our tour alive, make our students laugh, and get them excited for science. And finally, I also want to remind you that it's okay to cheat a little to make the video and 360 images feel alive and actually more like they are in real life. When we started this project out, Terry was concerned that if we added extra lighting or extra fog, that we would be kind of deceiving the viewer because we would be giving an unreal experience to what the real thing was. But then when I showed her that the videos didn't quite capture how amazing the in-life experience was because they needed actually more lighting and we needed to add more fog to the fog machine so it would show up and appear like it was when students actually toured the tunnel in real life. She saw that by, kind of cheating a little bit, adding some special effects, as simple as just adding an extra fog machine, made the video actually more like the tunnel tour was in real life, captured the imaginations of our virtual tour visitors more, and made the whole thing way more exciting. Thank you so much for listening to my best practices, tips, and tricks videos. Please check out our tour on Infiniscope called In the Flow. Thank you so much.